Just a disclaimer here. There's no pop filter. I don't have a pop filter. Boo. Boo. Yes, I am a Tyranid player. Those are my bugs. Those guys. Goblins, let's talk about Captain America, Brave New World. Spoilers ahead. So my faith in the MCU has drastically fallen since the end of Phase 3. Marvel peaked then and will probably never return to that level of greatness. I hope I'm wrong. Now, there's plenty of post-3 Marvel content that I have not seen yet. Let's review really quick. Okay, so Black Widow, didn't care for it. Shang-Chi, didn't care for it. My little brother's a big fan. Eternals, pretty good. I think it's underrated. I think a lot of people, they didn't like that movie. I was okay with it. Especially the speedster scene. Oh my goodness, like that's how you shoot a speedster scene. Like, don't get me wrong, the speedster scenes in like X-Men, like they're cool, but the way that they did speedster scenes in Eternals was fire. Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm here for it. This scratches the itch that when I watch Marvel movies for it, fan service, halfway decent plots, like that's Marvel for me. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. My expectations for this were probably too high, but I didn't care for it. Thor: Love and Thunder, didn't care for it. Black Panther, didn't care for it. And then that was the end of Phase 4. This is kind of one of my big problems with post Phase 3 MCU. There's just no clear defining line. Just it's over. So then we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, didn't care for it. Marvels, I didn't see it. Deadpool and Wolverine, fun stuff. Still worst of the Deadpool movies. And again, callbacks and fan service is why I love Marvel stuff so much. So, and I did skip Guardians 3. What about Guardians 3? Let's be real. This is by far the best thing to come out since Phase 3 ended. It was so good. And then James Gunn just dipped and went to head to the DCU. So high hopes for that. Make a good one, James. And then we have the TV series, which I think I've honestly enjoyed more than the film so far. WandaVision, good stuff. I think it was kind of underrated. Falcon and Winter Soldier, meh, didn't care for it. Loki surprised me. Actually surprised me. Since it came out relatively soon after Phase 3 had ended, and I'd already seen like Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, it kept my hopes high for MCU all over again. Like WandaVision was kind of a double-edged sword for me. It was good stuff. I was going into it expecting more Phase 3 amazingness, and it was kind of fell flat. But again, like I said, it was underrated. I still think it was good. What If? It didn't hold my attention. I only saw the first episode, and I couldn't tell you a thing that happened. Hawkeye, meh. Cool callback and tie into Daredevil. But actually, now that that came out back in November of 2021, and this tied the Netflix Marvel series into the MCU before they brought Matt Murdock in as Peter's lawyer in Spider-Man No Way Home. So Hawkeye redeemed itself quite a bit just because of Kingpin. Moon Knight, it sucks because this is probably the least tied to any of the MCU, and like that's my favorite thing about the MCU is how interconnected it is, but it's the best series from Marvel by far. Like, bar none, Moon Knight is the best series. Miss Marvel, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. She-Hulk, I started it, couldn't finish it. Secret Invasion, this was pretty good. Didn't finish strong. Sad way to send off Colby Smulders. Colby, please marry me. Loki Season 2, I'm watching now. Pretty sick. I'll probably do another video on that. I don't know about any of the other stuff, so I still have some catching up to do. I'm really excited for Daredevil Born Again. I'll probably do a video on that as well. But what you're here for, Captain America Brave New World. So my initial thoughts from this is I think this movie is going to be far better for you if you go into it expecting Thaddeus Ross to be the main character. And Captain America is the side piece. At every moment Harrison Ford is on screen, there's just no arguing. There's a reason he is as loved as he is. He really embodies this man who is trying to make up for his past deeds, but he has a way that he's always operated, and breaking that mold for him is a struggle. And I mean, Harrison does such a good job. You feel sympathy for President Ross while you subtly don't like his decision making. Now, it doesn't help that he is being messed with by Samuel Stearns, who is hacking into his equipment, and that's why he should have used ExpressVPN, today's sponsor. I don't have a sponsor, not even an AA sponsor. Please sponsor me. The reason that this movie exists, Captain America, I like Anthony Mackie. I really do. I think his choices in the role work really well. Sam Wilson has a dilemma through the movie in regards to his monumental task he has of taking up the mantle of Captain America. The emotion he puts into his scenes, he does a good job of expressing that, and he's not trying to be Steve Rogers. He's trying to be Sam Wilson, who is trying to fill the role of Captain America, and how Sam Wilson is going to fill that role is kind of the question that he has in the back of his mind throughout the whole movie. But the way the story is just pieced together just doesn't do Sam much justice, because that's all there really is. I don't think Cap is in a different place by the end of the movie. No real character growth. It's just nothing really happens to Cap. He went through this journey which had little no consequences in his life, and maybe they tried to capture some of that in Cap's new Falcon sidekick, Joaquin, but Joaquin was pretty forgettable. I don't have much to say about him. Same with the other addition to the team, Ruth Bat Seraph. Forgettable. She had a really strong entrance, but by the end of the movie I just sort of forgot about her. Really quick, the action sequences sucked. I don't know what has happened to action and stunts in general in Hollywood, but guys, get back to the glory days of action. Your stuff is slow, uninteresting, and inconsistent. Sam Wilson throwing that shield and getting the results he does is just stupid. I already talked about the phenomenal performance that Harrison Ford gives as President Ross. It's just a bummer that the pacing, the pacing, the way things played out with him turning into the Red Hulk was kind of off. Like, maybe for me, it was all the trailers that they put out showing him off as if he's going to be like the main antagonist of the story. It was just dishonest, but his transformation into Red Hulk was just, the pacing of it could have been done much better. Two other shout outs to great performances. Giancarlo Esposito. Everything this guy does, like, I love this man. And I really think that Hollywood is underutilizing him. Tarantino, you need to cast him in your last movie coming up. He could be probably one of the most menacing characters Tarantino's ever written if he was in a Tarantino film. I mean, his performance as Gus Fring, so incredible. I don't think you can mention Giancarlo Esposito without saying Gus Fring. And, you know, Hollywood just continues to underutilize him. Come on. Give him the kingly roles that he deserves. But yeah, Sidewinder, that the role that Giancarlo played, it was pretty good. They left him open, come back for more, bring Sidewinder back, make him a menace. Like, I would love just a movie of him just wreaking havoc, just like almost a Punisher-esque type thing of him going in on the Avengers. I know you got the Punisher to actually do that with, but that'd be awesome if he just put a bunch of Avengers in their place. Let's talk about Tim Blake Nelson. Mom. You a real one if you got that reference. Man, it's been a while since we've seen you in the MCU. You did great. It's a bummer that the intelligence his character should have resulted in something more menacing and traumatic. Probably something to the audience that, like the Joker did in Dark Knight. But intelligence is something that Disney struggles with these days. Also, Liv Tyler hasn't aged a day. Good emotional scene seeing her back again in the MCU. Can we find out if she survived the snap? Also, Liv Tyler, please marry me. How many offers of marriage have I done in this video? So in terms of like the MCU callback, I love that they called back the celestial being that was being birthed in the Eternals, which has many practical problems for most human beings living on the MCU Earth, not just ours. Go check out Erik Voss's video on New Stars explaining why no bueno. And then they just casually dropped the discovery of adamantium. Oh my god, give me more Wolverine, please. In short, very mediocre addition to the MCU. These movies are my crappy soap operas that I love callbacks on. Like, I love when they bring people back from the dead in dramatic fashion. They're just fun for me. You're missing out on a lot of fun if you just don't accept these movies for what they're trying to be. They're big brain turn off fun adventures. Like, that's all they are. So I'd give this a 5 out of 10. Probably won't watch again, but I had fun. I'm glad I saw it. That's it. That's all I got. Good night. Butter.